Some crazy news out of the Motor City today, and it's all about Eminem, stolen songs, and a shocking betrayal from within his own camp.
We traced the call. It's coming from inside the house. Do you hear me? It's coming from inside the house.
You won't believe who's been charged with stealing and selling unreleased Eminem songs. So, let's break it down. Joseph Strange, a former employee of Eminem, and a guy who had insider access to over 14 years of unreleased Eminem songs, has been hit with federal charges for allegedly stealing and selling Slim Shady's unreleased tracks. That's right. The feds are all over this case, because of course they are. It's Eminem. And I've got the details for you. My name is Tyler Common. This is Common Revolt, coming at you live from Detroit, Michigan, where Eminem is from, by the way. According to acting U.S. Attorney Julie Beck, Joseph Strange, a 46-year-old man from Holly, Michigan, is facing charges of criminal copyright infringement and interstate transportation of stolen goods. A criminal complaint is a preliminary step in the legal process and by itself will not necessarily result in a trial. After the investigation is completed, a decision will be made on whether to seek felony indictment. If the case were to proceed, a conviction of criminal infringement of copyright carries a maximum penalty of 5 years in prison and a fine of up to $250,000. A conviction on interstate transportation of stolen goods would carry a maximum penalty of up to 10 years in prison. This leak resulted in more than 25 songs appearing online in January. Now, if the last name Strange seems familiar to Eminem fans, that's because it is. Joseph is actually the brother of longtime Eminem producer Mike Strange, someone who's been working with Eminem as far back as 1999, all the way up through his newest album, released just last year. Mike Strange has been working with Eminem for well over 2 decades, fine-tuning his sound and producing hits. So for his own brother to be the person accused of stealing these songs is pretty crazy. Imagine the tension within that family right now. Here's what went down. The FBI got a tip in mid-January that some of Eminem's unreleased music had hit the internet. This wasn't just some random leak. Employees at Eminem's Ferndale, Michigan studio discovered an image of a hard drive directory, meaning someone on the inside had direct access. And lo and behold, these studio hard drives weren't even connected to the internet. They were password protected and stored in a safe. There were only 4 people aside from Eminem himself that had access to these files. Those people were 3 sound engineers, Mike Strange, Tony Campana, Joseph Strange, and Eminem's manager, Joe Fisher. It wasn't long until investigators zeroed in on Joseph. See, Joseph was an employee of Eminem from 2007 to 2021. That's nearly 15 years working for Eminem, and now he's going to betray him? And here's where it gets even crazier. Investigators found out that someone that went by the name of Doja Rat, not Doja Cat, had been buying Eminem's stolen tracks. And we're not talking chump change here. This guy paid over $50,000 in Bitcoin for the unreleased music. And if you're wondering, who sold it to him? Well, you're right, it was Joseph Strange. Doja Rat turned out to be someone in Ontario, Canada, who was working with a group to buy and distribute the tracks. And to clarify, some of that money went straight to Joseph Strange over a 6-month period. This has been going on for a while. This guy's side hustle, it's busted. Now, the FBI wasn't messing around with this. On January 28th, the FBI raided Joseph's home, and what they found was insane. Original handwritten lyrics from Eminem, a VHS tape with unreleased music, and hard drives containing over 12,000 audio files. Some of the tracks were from Eminem himself, while others were from artists that were working and collaborating with Eminem. That's a pretty large amount of files. 12,000? That's crazy. The FBI and federal prosecutors have made it clear that this is a huge violation of intellectual property rights. U.S. Attorney Julie Beck said protecting creators' exclusive rights is critical, and the FBI emphasized that this case highlights their commitment to protecting artists from people trying to profit illegally. Now, Eminem's team has been vocal about leaks before. Longtime spokesperson for Eminem, Dennis Dennehy, hopefully I'm pronouncing that correctly, said these were demos and experiments that were never meant for the public. The leaks not only violate Eminem's creative process, but they also take away his control over his own music. Doja Rat stated that Strange had claimed to have over 300 songs and handwritten lyric sheets. Financial records revealed payments to Strange for the music that was sold. The filing confirms that over 25 Eminem songs recorded between 1999 and 2018 made it onto the internet without his consent. Eminem's manager, John Fisher, told the FBI officials that Strange did not have the authority to possess these files because when they weren't being worked on, they were locked away in a safe, password protected with no access to the outside world or the internet. If you know anything about Eminem, you know just how meticulous he is about how and when his music drops. Eminem had a very eventful year in 2024, with the release of his latest album, The Death of Slim Shady, on July 12th. I actually went to his mom's spaghetti restaurant in downtown Detroit the day that the album was released. Here are some photos that I took during my time there. Eminem was also recently spotted with a fan at the restaurant, coordinated by Make-A-Wish. Eminem is truly a stand-up guy. This is proof of that. I have to say that the spaghetti at that place is kind of mid. So what happens next? Joseph Strange is now facing some serious legal troubles, and with the FBI involved, it's not looking good for him. But I think that goes without saying. This case is obviously going to take a long time to get solved, I'm assuming, so make sure to stay tuned for further updates. But what do you think? Should Eminem's team crack down harder on leaks, or is this just part of the music industry today? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. As always, thank you for watching this video. My name is Tyler Common. This is Common Revolt. Stay tuned for more videos just like this one. And if you liked what you saw here, if you found it useful, consider subscribing. We'll see you next time.